Good morning, everyone. I am Generous Chikiringa, your facilitator for today. Before we tackle the convention of Chinese theater, let us proceed first to the history. Beijing Opera is best known for Chinese theater in the West because the Republic of China in Taiwan took Beijing Opera as political symbolism, in which Humanting wanted Beijing Opera as to take over the other indigenous arts. It's developed in the 18th century and established in the 19th century. So way back 100 BCE, there has some records of theatrical performances during the Shang Dynasty. These performances would include music, clowning, and the acrobatics displays. The first evidence of Chinese theater was created by Ming Wang. Ming Wang, who began the Fear of Garden school, whose theater was primarily around music. It is very popular in the Qing Dynasty court and considered as cultural treasure of China. So let us proceed now to the conventions of Chinese theater. Beijing Opera has a number of every predictable elements. The drama is presented for the enjoyment of the audience through the medium of the specific skills of the performance. Specifically, these skills are singing, dialogue, dancing, and the martial art. If you're watching a Beijing Opera or the Chinese theater, you can appreciate it without fully understanding everything you hear, because they are stylized from roles and actions. So looking at each of the player, you can tell their character by their costumes, painted faces, and their exaggerated movements help to the story. So, Chinese theater has the four basic rules. The one is Shang, the second one is Tao or Tan, the third one is Qing, and the fourth is Chu. I have a picture of the four basic rules and the several types. So first, Lao Shang. Here, Lao Shang, who is a senior male role who has a dignified and older bird man with a gentle. Next one is Hong Shang. Here, Hong Shang. Character has a red face, a vigorous and high-pitched voice. Next is Xiao Shang. Here, Xiao Shang, a young male role without bearded and who sing in a high and shrill voice. Next is Wu Shang. Here, Wu Shang, the acrobatic male character who has a good natural singing voice and who has a good combat, acrobatics, and the martial arts. So next, the Tao or Tan are the female role. So Tao or Tan has several types. So the first one is Lao Tan. Here, Lao Tan is the old woman. The next one is Wu Tan. Here, Wu Tan, an acrobatic woman. So next, the Tao Matan is the young female warrior. Here, Tao Matan. And the Shang Tan or Qingyi is the virtuous and elect woman, is the most important character of the conventions of Chinese theater. Here, Shang Tan or Qingyi. And the next is Watan. Here, Watan, the unmarried woman. Shang Tan or the Qingyi is the most character of the Chinese theater because their characters as a dignus, the serious and the decent woman. And the next is Watan. Here, Watan, the unmarried woman. So the third one is Qing, a male role with the painted faces who may play either primary or the secondary role. The performer needs to be a forceful character with a string voice to be able to exaggerate gestures. The actor's face colors speaks for his character. Red for good. Here the sample of red. Black for brave or upright or reckless. He's black. And next, blue for wild. And white for treacherous or cunning. And the last is the yellow for brutal. White for treacherous or cunning. The fourth one of the basic roles is Chu, is a male clown role. The actor's nose is always painted with white powder, making to his recognizable. Chu has several types. The first one is Wan Chu and the second one is Wu Chu. Wan Chu, civilian role such as merchants and jailers, while the Wu Chu play minor military roles. In Chinese, Chu means ugly, and the idea of combination of clown's ugliness and the laughter can be drive away evil spirits. So the next discussion is all about the music and instruments of the Chinese theater. The first encounter with the music that accompanies the Chinese theater opera is likely to be an exasperating experience. The sounds of what may seem is like hard wooden lifting with the measure and the sharp notes of the little serpent skin fiddle that sometimes denotes the noises or the other noises or voice. Musical instruments has three under the brass instruments, string instruments, and the wind section. In the brass instruments, the cymbals and gong mark. Yung look consists of 10 small gongs suspended, with a wooden striker to produce that sounds, and the other instruments during the ceremonial scenes. So in the next one is the string instruments. These are those primary to make the sounds are the erhu, huqin, weiqin, pipa, and the 3-string xianxian. The first one is the erhu. It is a 2-string fiddle with a lower pitch. The next one is yuqin that accompanies the latter as the viola that supplements the violin. Next is the weiqin. Weiqin is the literally meaning the moon guitar. And next is pipa. This is the reputedly the handle down since 1st century and has 4 strings. And then the last is the 3-string sanxian. This is played with the bone spectrum and somewhat melancholy tone. Yes, the last is the wind section. So the wind section has the 4 types is the xiao, tiche, shang, and sona. Xiao is very similar to the sweet voice planjolet, and the tiche can be described the whole transferred flute made of bamboo instead of metals. Shang is very rarely used now, has 17 bamboo pipes, and the last is sona with a brass mouthpiece, and this is the loudest of all the sounds. So let us discuss now the symbolic gestures and acting of the Chinese theater. Under the symbolic gestures and acting, closing an imaginary door, bringing 2 hands together at arm's length, will truly empty, and no door nor windows. To open the door, the actor moves apart with already closed hands. The symbolic gestures and acting has different techniques of hand movements. The one is the dejected one, the second is the actor holds, the third is to indicate happiness, the next is to indicate anger, and the last is the tassel stick. The dejected man will shake his head and throw his heads to show his deep hope. The actor holds his long sleeves in front of his eyes, about 2 inches from his face, and bend his head slightly. This symbolizes weeping. To indicate happiness, the hands are raised chest high with the palm downs and turned flicking and the sleeves outward. To indicate anger, the actor will fall back as though the stunned clinging the sleeves forward below waist level. To tassel stick, maybe use a whip and denotes the horse. When the rider throw the whip down her hands, it's into an aid. He is dismounting. So next is the finger gestures. Under of the finger gestures are to indicate shyness, a married couple, a unmarried woman, noble lady, clowns, and to indicate that the actor is thinking. To indicate shyness, the actress will have her thumb and middle fingers touching in a curve while in the index finger points upward. A married couple may express their love by holding out their arms and touching her other hands. A unmarried woman, this resorts her gestures and conquetish. Conquetish meaning is the flirtatious mon. Yes. The noble lady is the makes with the grace and dignity. Clowns is scurry about the stage in a ridiculous manner. And to indicate that the actress is thinking, the head is bent, will feathers flick the ground, and the quickly round back over the head again. The next discussion is all about the face painting of the Chinese theater. Face painting is a unique feature of the opera is the face painting. With the exception of female characters and scholars, almost all other performers appears on the stage with painted faces, which are usually or actually a variation of mask. Face painting has several types: the scarlet red face, black faces, white powdered face. Scarlet red face is high integrity and dignity. The black spaces denote a tall but honest character. White powdered face is a treacherous and yet powerful. The other face paintings are a combination of all colors: the red, white, treacherous, and others. So, face painting can be grouped under several categories. The one is the old water faces, featuring a completely white pouch above the eyebrows, in contrast with dark color. Three tiles, dividing up the face into three blocks. Perfect face, either totally black or entirely red. And then the last is the broken face, denotes bad characters. So, let us proceed now to the resplendent costumes of the Chinese theater. Costumes of the Chinese stage are seldom in much, anywhere in the world, and pageantry. Generally speaking, they represent what the Chinese people were in the Ming Dynasty, 1363 to 1644 AD. The resplendent costumes has the two types, the male characters and the female characters. The male characters, this is the long, loose robes with large sleeves. The second one is the female characters. These were long skirts concealing their feet and blouse. So the costumes are symbolic rather than realistic. Rich or poor, the characters appear the silk garments, and the same garbs are good for all season. Next discussion is all about speeches. So to this, that there are two types of speech. The one is the dialogue, and the second one is the monologue. Dialogue is usually in prose, carries forward of action, while the monologue means character to introduce him or herself
at the beginning of the first scene. The Chinese drama conveys an ethical lesson in the case of art in order to impress moral truth of the Confucian tenet. The Chinese drama and the Chinese theater combines the music, vocal performances, mime, dance, and the acrobats. That's all. Thank you.